AQRM revealed certain perceived challenges that the university was facing, and one was the delay in getting data from other sectors of the university. It wasn't an easy task for the committee to complete the questionnaire because getting data at certain sectors delayed a bit. And so there were some perceived challenges that were confirmed through this process. And also other benefits that we got was that the team also, the team brought their own recommendations, and some included areas that the university had huge capacity, even for infrastructure, but then were underutilized. And examples were the University Information Technology Services, and then our distance learning services, and then our e-learning centers. There was huge potential there, but then the university was underutilizing that. And so some of these things came up to management, and the recommendations were taken in good faith. And one of the benefits, the latest, is that KNUST is ranked the best university in quality education in Africa, and then the 14th in the world by the 2022 Times Higher Education Impact Ranking. And so you see that because we went through this self-assessment, it made us aware of how we are doing. And then also we saw it from the external, the AAU team, how the university was performing. They gave us recommendations, and the university has been working at these recommendations. And so it's not surprising that the university keeps improving in its services. And so the university is determined to continue to work in all areas to improve to the best. And the university is also grateful for this opportunity of that self-assessment and getting the external eye to look at what we are doing. And so we are determined to continue to improve the quality of teaching, service, and community engagement. So thank you. This has been the KNUST experience of AQRM.
Thank you, Mrs. Zama. Yes, I think you have highlighted some key issues there. Collection of data. We need a lot of people with institutional memory. When they said the best 3 programs, it's not one person who said these are the best 3 programs. It was a process in itself where people would collect data of the teaching and learning, curricula, equipment, the quality of staff and students, and everything else, winning grants and doing researches and getting research papers published. It's a lot which would then make a department get the first position before they put it into their institutional evaluation. Thank you for that. We are very grateful that you have given people the practical touch of it. We move over to Nigeria, where I'm calling upon Prof. Emmanuel Unabona, who is the Quality Assurance Director for Redeemers University. I personally went there and we had a quality time together. I know what went into it. Thank you. Is anybody from Redeemers University? Yes.
I can't find Prof online. But if he's around, he can raise his hand digitally.
Yes,
so that
yes, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Please, the person from Redeemers University, may you please raise your hand if you are available? Okay, if they are not available, I've got their presentation and I'm going to display it soon. Let me look for it very quickly. Okay, just a minute. Allow me to locate it. It's here. Okay, I got it. Yes, so they submitted their presentation, and an excuse was given, but I thought somebody was going to stand in for the Professor Emmanuel, who is the director of the Directorate of Academic Planning and Quality Assurance in Redeemers University. Because I was part and parcel and involved, I think I'm comfortable presenting on their behalf and acknowledge that I'm not the one who prepared the presentation. So they have their Redeemers University vision, which is a foremost academic institution setting standards through continuous commitment to excellence, geared towards making a transformative impact on society. Their mission is to continuously impact the society through commitment to excellence in education, research, creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship, and raising global leaders as change agents imbued with good God-fearing attributes. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something I just want to say, that if you find you allow people to come into your home and allow them to move to every part of the house, looking at what is good, what is not good, then it means you are genuine about your transformation as an institution. This is what these institutions did. They allowed external people to come and assess them, look at what they are doing with another eye, without hiding any part of the institution. And then there they were. This is one of the institutions which was also ranked highly. It is a member of the Association of African Universities with a credible and enviable AQRM institutional rating. Yes, it was very good. They are one of the smartest institutions I've ever seen in the African continent. A faith-based higher education institution established in 2005 in Nigeria. They attracted external research funding of more than 100 million US dollars using what came out of the institutional evaluation. Home to the World Bank funded African Center of Excellence in Genomics of Infectious Diseases. I saw it and I can tell you what is happening there. Currently, has 8 accredited faculties: natural sciences, humanities, law, social sciences. You can see them from there. Have accredited undergraduate and postgraduate programs in various faculties. What was their reason or reasons for AQRM rating? They meant business as a credible higher education institution in Nigeria. They wanted to help their university to plan for the future. You know, in most cases, people just use perceptions, conceptions, and what they think is there, but they wanted to plan based on research, because as we do the AQRM institutional evaluation, we are collecting certain data which can inform decisions on what to do and how to do it. They also wanted to improve their overall rating among universities in Nigeria and in Africa. They wanted to attract regional students as part of their internationalization process. How the rating was done? Yes, they first also completed the questionnaire. We set a date. I remember it was a time, it coincided with the time for elections in 2019 in Nigeria. So when I went there, people thought I was an election observer. So the interview of different levels of workforce, we started with the university management, deans and directors, went down to academic staff, technical staff, artisans and casual workers. We moved on to different levels of students and students representatives. We were not restricted. I think this was part of the management meeting that we had. All these managers, I understood that that time, the team which is there now were just less than 6 months into the office, but they were ready to open their doors and they were ready to make genuine changes out of the evaluation. How the rating was done, assessment of documents, yes, We did document analysis, assessment of field forms submitted, assessment of various policy documents in the university, review of governance structure and autonomy of governance. Yes, we saw that, and they've since addressed most of the issues. Inspection of physical facilities, student hostels, classrooms, health center, cafeteria, among others. I think this was one of the times when we were moving to do some assessments there. This is the Genomic Center, the World Bank African Center of Excellence. The pieces of equipment, they had them for more than a year, but when you looked at them, it was like they were just being exposed from their containers. The experience, they are telling us that it was thorough, it was explicit, it was expository, an experience that brought about positive change, improved internal quality assurance mechanisms. There are now levels of internal quality assurance in RAN, department, faculty, and university. They now have internal quality assurance documents which they revised. Development of new policy documents, sexual harassment document developed. I remember it was one of the documents which I said to them, this one you need to tear it off and start all over again. And now they have it. Inspired change of certain policies obnoxious to growth and development, inclusion of students in certain committees in the university, revision of university rules and regulations for students, prepared the university for future rankings. NUC ranking, RAN is today #1 private university in Nigeria, second best university in Nigeria, increasing member of international students from West Africa and beyond. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say to you that we could have had many more examples and case studies, but we just got 2 in the interest of time. But it's practical, it can be done, and it has got positive results. Secretary General, any comment so far before we move on to the unveiling, which you are going to lead us to? Thank you.
Just to note that there are about 348 participants that are connected to this program at this particular time. And to say that, please get across to your head of department, get across to your dean, and get across to your vice chancellor. You can apply AQRM to your individual department. And what is important with AQRM is not your assessment now. Your first assessment can just be there. What you score in your second, third, fourth assessment that comes up every 3 months is very important. AQRM will help you to know whether you are making progress or whether you are going down. It will help you to identify areas where you are weak in your department, in your faculty, or your university. Now, we are launching this instrument today. We are going to put it in the virtual world, in the cloud, for universities, department to assess it and apply it to themselves. And where you need assistance, please be very free to contact us in AAU as we move this process beyond this. I will now want to invite Mr. Abednego Corle to please unveil the further details about the AQRM and how our institutions and our academicians can assess it. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Welcome, Mr. Abed.
Thank you, Prof, and thank you, Dr. Ojukwu. So on the screen now is the platform that you would see when you launch the AQRM. And the link to it is simple to remember. The link is aqrm.aau.org. aqrm.aau.org. It will bring you to this platform. I hope the screen is showing the
interpretation properly.
Oh, no problem.
It's supposed to be like prior to that.
All right, so you would have to register if you are a new user to the platform. So you click on the register link here, and then you will fill in your details, your name or your email address, and then the passwords. Then you log in if you are an old user. So I'm just going to log in. So because of time, we will just go through quickly. We won't cover everything in detail. We will just look at the few places, and then we would go out so you can have time to complete. So when you log in, this is the first stage that you see. There's a questionnaire. That's the first part that Ojukwu spoke about. And here you are capturing information about the institution profile, the general information, the status and levels, the faculties and the thematic areas that are covered under the institution. Then you have the student profile, the faculties and staff profile, you have the governance structure, you have teaching and learning, you have linkage and research, international ratings. All this you would have to fill in, although it might look heavy, it is very user-friendly, and you need to just have some patience to fill out all the information. As much as possible, please don't skip any of the required fields, because if you skip, it will come back to bite you at a point. So just be patient and fill out all the information that needs to be filled out. Student's profile, bachelor's degree or master's or doctorate, whichever it is. Those who are doing face-to-face, those who are online, female versus male, all that information, the statistics that are necessary. And whenever you finish, you can save. And when you save, it gives you all the summary that you have down here. The summary of all the information you fill at the top here, you have it summarized at the table here. And then you can see it before you even move on further. So you do that for governance, teaching, learning, everything else that you need to do. Criteria for evaluating your student performance, for instance, type of assessment, quizzes, homework, term paper, projects, midterm examination, final exams, industrial attachment, and all that. The frequency, your comments, and all that. That is for the questionnaire to do with the institutional general information. Then after you have finished the questionnaire part, you move on to the second part, which is self-rating at the institutional level. Now, this is the entire institution. So you do that governance, you do it for infrastructure, you do it for finance, teaching and learning. Under research, you do it the community as a whole. You do that also. So under the community, you are looking at things like your engagement with society. The reference numbers are here, and then you do your assessment, you do your values, which are here, and then at the end of the day, you have your aggregated value. Then you would have other things to do as well. At the institutional level, when you have finished, then you move on to the self-rating at the program level. Now, this is more detailed and related to the program level, not the entire institution. So, for instance, it's a civil engineering course, it's a chemistry, it's a crop science, medicine, or whatever it is. You will do that, the program and planning. You do the curriculum development. You have a tab for teaching and learning, how assessment is done for that particular program that you are evaluating now, the results that you see, and then the rating that you have given yourself. You can have a summary of it at the end of your table. Everything that has been done, you will see it all here. I have not put in any values. That is why there's nothing in here. But like I said earlier on, the table or the mechanism for doing the rating is quite simple, and the platform is very user-friendly and clear. After you have done all that, then you can do your submission at the end of the table. And the submission will give you all the printout of everything else that you have done. You haven't done any entry, so there'll be nothing for it to show, so it won't load. But at the end of the day, after you have gone through the questionnaire as the first part, gone through the self-rating at the institutional level and self-rating at the program level, you would have a printout that will show all the fields that you have done. And like the Secretary General said, the first one is for you to keep. Then when you do a second one, then you can compare over the two to see how much you have either improved or you have become degraded over the period between the two assessments. And that will help you. So by the time you do a third rating, you are able to compare over the years what has gone wrong or what has gone right and how to improve and have a way forward. So that is the AQRM platform, simply put, and that is how it works. So under every one of them, you have the various tabs that you need to fill out. And then, like I said earlier, it might look bulky, but please, it is very clear and very straightforward. So just take your time and enter all the fields as best as possible. And then at the end of the day, when the years come by and you do a self-evaluation again over the years of what has happened, you would have a better way of seeing your institution, where to develop, where to add more efforts. And then when it's used, I'm sure can be used in so many various areas as well, as in getting ready for the accreditation bodies as they come to inspect and to accredit your institution for it to be able to perform its duties. Thank you very much, Dr. Mahuku.
Thank you so much. You can stop sharing. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Brother Abed. So when you look at the scoring, I think Mrs. Abigail said that their scores went down. It is not always the case. I remember I was involved in Durban University of Science and Technology. They had scored themselves one on community engagement, but through the interviews and document analysis, we ended up scoring them a 4 because the students now revealed that they were doing a lot. So in the process, there is triangulation of data. The experts will not just put a score or just find a score to say, let's score them down or let's score them up. No, your scoring can actually drastically improve when we do the document analysis, because as you are completing the form, you are also filing certain documents which are going to be used as evidence that you have been doing what you claim you have been doing. For interviews, everybody is interviewed separately, like what we saw in both case studies. And the approach for you, I think Mr. Abed emphasized that it's heavy. But if you do not want to feel the heaviness, decentralization is the way to go. You now need to have copies of this questionnaire in your departments. So information is coming to the central committee from the different departments. And that way, the central committee will now collect and complete the form that is going to be uploaded online. Let me now open up for question and answers. And we have Sunny. Sunny, you can go ahead and ask your question, please. Secretary General, please be ready also to help me to respond to some of the questions. Mr. Abed, please also be ready to respond to some of the questions which I cannot answer. Yes, Sunny, go ahead. Olubanke, you can unmute yourself whilst we are waiting for Sunny. And we also have Peter Aduoye. In the interest of time, let any one of you unmute themselves and start your comments or questions. Enoch, why can't they unmute? Or we have
Dr. Silva, we have to disable because of the security issue we had. So we have to unmute them.
Okay, good.
While we are waiting on them, let me make it clear that you are not submitting your result to any other organization.
Yes.
The results that you get is for your own institution. It's just for you to be able to assess yourself every 3 months and see areas where you are weak and areas where you need to take action. This is not a ranking process at all, but it's an internal mechanism of ensuring that you are improving the quality of your delivery. It's not just restricted to academic areas. It also covers every aspect of the university life. So it's an instrument for you. And please inform your vice chancellors about it, inform your deans about it, and let us get connected. If you have any problem, be free to contact us as AAU.
Yes. Thank you, Prof, for that. Please, let's unmute. I've asked Olubanke to unmute. Olubanke, can you unmute yourself? Yes, good, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. I really want to appreciate this opportunity. I am Olubanke Ogunl from Covenant University. I also want to appreciate what Professor Oyewo is doing. Thank you very much, sir, for these various activities. I want to ask some questions concerning the AQRM. Can all the programs in the university, for instance, be added? Can they all be evaluated once? Or it has to be the best 3 programs in the university, as you said in your presentation? If there is need at the end, maybe yearly or every 2 years, to bring in the AAU team, can you tell us the financial implication to invite the team for a re-evaluation of our internal process? Then from the questionnaire, I also want to find out if there is a guide so that we just don't score ourselves haphazardly. So is there a guide on what is expected per percentages so that we can use it as our own internal mechanisms to guide ourselves, so that our guide is highly consistent with yours, so that we will be true to ourselves? Thank you very much. I think that's all I have.
Okay, yeah. Yes. First of all, we are looking at assessment and evaluation of every program offered by that institution, but it's out of all the programs that are offered that now the institution gets the best 3, because you can't pick the best 3. There's a section where you are now being asked to say which are your best 3 programs. When you go to the questionnaire, you will see it. And there's a criteria that is used to select the best 3 programs. The guide is inbuilt within the questionnaire. I leave the post to my Secretary General.
Yeah, I need to mention that I was part of the beginning of the AQRM when I was at the African Union Commission in Addis Ababa. So I know much about the AQRM. I will tell you, you can apply the AQRM to all the programs of your institution. But one thing that the first assessment will give you is that your first assessment will tell you the strength of your university. It will show you the program of your university where you are strong. And for many institutions, when they apply AQRM in the first time, they know that they are strong in program A, B, and C. And it will help the university to know, to identify the programs that they need to concentrate more on, so that they can say that this is our specialties in this university. I tell you, you talk about the financial implications. Ordinarily, now that you have put it on in the cloud, you can carry out this AQRM with almost zero finance. But for the purpose of validation, AAU is seeking for funds that can make it easy for us to visit you and do the valuation. Until we get those funds, we may not be able to do the external valuation. But I'm looking at the future. We can organize further webinars on AQRM, where we will be able to train AQRM champions in your university. Champions who can lead you in filling the AQRM questionnaire. I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Yes, in addition, we want to say, if you want to invite the AAU team, say after 2 years or so, it's very good to have an external eye. We can do, if by then we don't have funds and you want it urgently, we can also have a budget of what is required, and we submit to you, and then we can carry on the process. Vincent, I've asked you to unmute. Olubanke, can you put down your hand? Yes, go ahead, Vincent. After Vincent, we are going to have Francis. So Francis, after we respond, you can
yes,
also
thank you very much, Dr. Makuku. My name is Professor Vincent Balogun, speaking from Edo State University, Uzare.
Yes.
And few things I want to, it's a very good innovation, very good idea, very good thing to do. Looking at the AQRM website that we just been demonstrated. But I want to quickly ask, looking at that platform, it's more like the institution that will input their data into the platform. And whatever the institution, whatever data they have and inputted, that's what they will be scored against. Now, is it not appropriate or good for us to have like a control where we will have maybe an independent assessor sort of that will just look at what we have inputted and then double check against what we have done, so that we will now know that, okay, yes, though, you know, human factor might be involved for us as I'm the one inputting the data, there might be some, you know, towards the left, and then normally I will favor my institution anyway. But if you have like a control process where we have an independent assessor, sort of, it could be from our local environment that can also double check what we have done and then able to manage and marry the two together.
Yes, Vincent, in the interest of time, once I pick the idea, we may cut you and then we respond, because I picked what you were trying to say. So the independent assessors, yes, the Association of African Universities, the doors are open. You just contact us. But what we have seen from the more than 15 institutions where we have done the evaluation, because they have genuine concerns and they want to genuinely improve themselves, they said to themselves, they can't cheat themselves. We never met a critical situation. Actually, when we upgraded them, when we went there, they were surprised, because from the interviews, from the document analysis that the external quality assurance personnel would need, we need like 3-4 days, but they are not enough. But in terms of cost now, we just make it through 3 to 5 days. The work that will be done there still will make sure that all those things are ironed out, but people will know who they are. Cheating, it does not have room here unless you are not serious. But we take that on board and we tell you we are here to help you. Who is the next? Francis, you are the one who just talked, or you are the next? Francis, unmute yourself. Go ahead quickly.
All right, thank you for the opportunity. My name is...
we also need to pick on women. Okay.
My name is Awafun Francis Ode. I'm from University of Calabar. The first question answered some of my queries, but I just want to inquire. You know, these softwares you're introducing us to, these platforms, are they strictly things that we do online, or we can do them offline? You know, I just need to know, is it something that a database, there's an offline database too, or you need to walk over the internet while installing this and while working on these platforms?
Okay, first of all, before I hand you over to Mr. Abed, please avail yourself. I know that previously you could print it and you could work offline. And this one now, it's like I told you, we added some new things. Let me give to Mr. Abed, our ICT expert, to respond.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mahuku. This is an online platform. So the platform is available online. We don't have you can download your results, final results anyway, and print it out. But the form itself, it's online.
Yes, we need to tell them again that they can take their time. Once they complete a section, they need to save. So once you complete a section, you save it. Because we know it takes a long time. Next time, you come and complete another section until you finish. So you can do that. There's something which I've forgotten, which I also wanted to add on, that you are not going to install it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Once you go to that link, which Mr. Abed gave us, the form will always be there. You need to first sign up. Sign up is to log in, put your details there, who you are, your password, so that you can sign in. If you don't sign up, you cannot access that form. And thank you for that one, Francis. It helps a lot of people, because people would come back and say, I've signed in, I couldn't go through. You need to sign up first, and then you sign in. Let's have
just a little more information, and yes, it will be more encouraging, and I think rational that institutions sign in as one. So the Office of the Quality Assurance should create the account and make it available to all those others who would want to add up information to it, the various units, the various departments, faculties, and whatever, schools or institutes that will want to add information, so that they can have their information in an aggregated form for them to have a better overview of what is happening within the institution. Yes, when they add up the information. Thank you.
Thank you. Evelyn, I've unmuted you.
Okay. So thank you very much. My name is Evelyn Nyamai. I am a principal lecturer in Kenya Medical Training College, and it is a middle level training college. Now, I want to appreciate the presentation that have been done, and I've listened to the AQRM, they just done, which you have already done, and I find it, the rating that you have already done, and I find it very crucial mechanism to allow the organization to operate. And then when I look we have the quality manager did it. So given that AQRM is very important, do you allow it for
can still access it. But we encourage you now to be the member of AAU, because you can see that AAU is genuine about serving the African higher education institutions. What we are encouraging those who are already members is to be in good standing, because some of the things that we could do for you, we can't do them because there are institutions which are owing and there are others who are in good standing. And as the AAU, we are already structuring to see the benefits of those members who are always in good standing. About the best programs, you know, the criteria goes across, it goes across undergraduate and postgraduate programs. I can give an example of curricular review. So if you have been reviewing your curricula and bringing new programs, whether you are undergraduate or a postgraduate, you still have your program being scored highly. That's an illustration. Thank you. Let's have Chioma. Secretary General, please, do you have anything before Chioma?
Oh, just to appreciate you. You're doing well.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Chioma, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Makuku, and thank you, Secretary General. I so much appreciate this program because it will help in the continuous improvement of African universities. So please, I want to ask, would there be a certification after each assessment? Because it's just like, it's similar to ISO certifications we get in the private sector. That's International Standard Organization, where they do QA/QC, where they do quality assurance, and they have internal auditors in the companies. In this case, what you are doing is very good. I'm asking, there should be something like a certification, like ISO 9000 and all those things we do in the private sector, in order to make it attractive, so that it won't be just it won't be a voluntary action by institutions. They will decide not to do or to do.
Okay, we have gotten you. Thank you. Prof, come in. Secretary General, please.
Yeah, except if we come to an institution to do verification, yes, certification will not be possible.
Yes.
But we are saying that you really do not need certification now, but should we come in to verify what you have done over about 2 times, then we can give you a certification that we've certified what you have done about your institution. But yes, we will, beyond this, we are still thinking of what to do. Thank you for this idea. We will see what to do about it in the future. Thank you.
Yes, for the under Aqua initiative and even under the AAU initiative, we have been offering certificates that, just like what the Secretary General said, that it's only when an external board comes in to look at you that we can now give you a certificate. So yes, the certificate will be issued. Olusola, come on board, please. And she mentioned, while Olusola is coming, she mentioned the ISO certification. Ladies and gentlemen, not that I'm doing down other forms of for assessments or what. Let's also introspect and look at some of the shortcomings of those assessments and how the AQRM is coming in to plug those gaps. For example, the expense. At one time, I asked an institution in Kenya, the amount they told me for ISO certification, I was scared. The second one is that with ISO certification, it's so specific. ISO certification for documentation, ISO certification for locomotives, ISO certification for laboratories. But the AAU's AQRM brings all those things on board at once. That's a major advantage to think about. Yes, Olusola, go on.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Makuku and all the team of AAU. My question, having the platform for the assessment, the AQRM, I'm talking about the process. Is there any background process before filling the form? For example, in the form, you have different criteria. How do you collect the data? Do you first of all do a small question after looking at it, collect the questions or do a small questionnaire and then pick the questions from the various, if you want to do a faculty assessment, pick information from the various departments of the faculty before now imputing into the QRM form? I wasn't quite clear.
Yes.
Is there
I
any
think,
background?
that time, yes, you may not have joined then. So the process is like, when you are doing institutional, this tool, the questionnaire should be disseminated to every department. Every department will complete and now forward the information to the central team, to the central institutional team, which will now, for example, let me take publications. When we send it to all the departments in the institution, we now collect, for example, all the publications that the department, one department has 3, another one has 60, another one has 5. So they now put them together and enter into the central form.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Next, Ify Osinulu. Put your hand down, Udosora.
Yes,
thank
I will.
you. Thank you, thank you. We are moving.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you for your presentation. It's quite stimulating. And well done to the team. My name is Ify Osinulu from Covenant University. Okay. My question, I would like to know, because it was mentioned that departments can assess themselves, you know, before the institutional assessment. So I would like to know how, is it possible to do an independent assessment of the department, at least to know where you stand before the whole institution is assessed? I don't know if you get that.
Yes, I get you. So what I've said with the example of the publications, it is the same. The departments will do themselves self-ratings. And even when I said one department will submit 3 publications, another will submit 10, another will submit 60, it tells you already that some departments are publishing better and more than others. And that will be picked at the central, when they now collect everything. But even then, the comparison can be done because the central team will be having all the information from the different departments. Thank you.
Okay, then one more, please.
Can only take one more question before we round up.
So please put your questions. Everybody else whose hand is up, can you put your questions in the chat panel so that we will get all the questions, respond to them, and send them together with the link and the presentations. Thank you.
Yeah, but before you round up, I can see Professor Amani El Sharif, our regional coordinator in Egypt. We will be glad to allow her to make our contributions or ask a question. Professor Amani, over to you.
Oh, maybe. Let me unmute here. Prof. Amani, go ahead. I was moving my line.
Okay.
Sorry,
yes.
We were still coming to you.
Hello, Dr. Violet,
yes,
Professor Secretary General. First, congratulations for the highly successful launching of the AQRM. I have some points to share with you. First, I was practiced the AQRM in its paper version as an evaluator and also as a university to be assessed. And I can confirm that AQRM is the best tool to self-evaluation and also for self-development of the university. And it helped our university a lot in improving a lot of sectors because it concerned by all important missions of the universities and the higher education institution, like teaching and learning, research, and society services. So thank you for the new version, the online version. Second, I would like to use this platform to announce that I will apply in AQRM dissemination and information session in Arabic to cross the language barrier, and this will be through the HAQA project. So I will be happy if you allow me also to disseminate that everyone can use it on the online, but I don't know if the online form have in Arabic version or not, and if it is not, I'm ready to support that. Finally, I have a suggestion. I mentioned it before, and I hope Professor Olusola and the board and AAU staff think about it. Why we don't have a ranking mechanism in Africa, like the Times ranking is the SG ranking and Shanghai ranking? Why we don't have African ranking through the AQRM and AAU as the voice of higher education in Africa can have this move and this towards having African ranking between universities, and AQRM I think is more than qualified to be the ranking parameter and the ranking measurements for universities. Please think about it, because it will help a lot of African universities to improve themselves, and also we as the oldest continent, we should have our ranking system in Africa, and AAU is responsible for Africa higher education. So I put this suggestion in your hands, and thank you. My name is Amin Sharif. I am the coordinator for North Africa Regional Office and the Vice President of Pan-African University. And thank you for again, congratulations for the successful event.
Thank you very much, Professor Amani. I want our audience to know that Professor Amani is our regional coordinator in Egypt, and she's speaking from Al-Azhar University in Cairo, one of the oldest universities in Africa. Our university is 1,000 years old. I want to thank you for your contributions. We've not thought about the Arabic translation, but we need to consult you so that we can also have the AQRM in Arabic. I'm glad that Obreg Global is connected to this platform today. We'll be discussing with them on what to do to get support, to get this translated, and other support for AQRM. Concerning the ranking, I'm glad at your suggestion. I can assure you that we shall think about it and see what we can do. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. I wanted to add on to, thank you very much, Prof. Amani, also for your input. I just wanted to add that, in fact, we need it to be in all languages, the way we have done with the African standards and guidelines. So if we could also have it in Portuguese and French, that would go a long way. Actually, in French, we have something. Thank you. In the interest of time, please put all your questions in the chat panel. Put your email address so that even when we are responding to the general audience, we are also making sure that the person who asked a question got a direct response. We want to do that.
Yeah, quickly, because of our time, yes. I noticed that Dr. Foluke Eunice Shola Ojo from the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Ilorin is asking, I would like to know if there's a platform for individual lecturer stroke researcher to carry out the self-assessment on AQRM. The truth of the matter is that if an individual completes the AQRM, it's useless to you.
Yes.
But if a department or a program or the whole university carries out this, it will be very useful to the university.
Thank you very much, Prof. Yes, actually, it's an institutional tool. You can see even from the fields that are there. Prof, please, can we allow Professor Alice Asim just one, and then we come to you with the closing remarks.
Okay, thank you.
Prof Asim, can you unmute yourself very quickly and be short and precise?
Thank you, Dr. Makuku. My hand had been up for a long while.
Everybody else, you jumped the queue.
Okay.
Please, my institution, University of Calabar, had used in the past the Commonwealth of Learning Handbook for Review and Improvement Model. That's the CORIM. And it has the handbook that guides users on what to do stage by stage. I'm glad we have an African initiative, and I think we should think in that line of having a handbook to guide us. Thank you.
Okay, just to answer you, hopefully with this request from our members, we are going to develop a handbook that can guide users for the AQRM. And Dr. Makuku, I'm sure you will take immediate action on this. With this, I want to appreciate every one of us that have taken part in this program today. With this, it's my pleasure to formally launch the African Quality Rating Mechanisms. It will be available. There will be other promotional information that will be directed at vice chancellors and all institutions in Africa. Please, those of us who have been part of this, inform your quality assurance department about the AQRM, inform your vice chancellors and unit S about the AQRM, and let us get on board. Thank you very much for being part of it. I want to especially appreciate Dr. Violet Makuku, and especially appreciate the two institutions, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and the Redeemers University, who have made presentations on their experiences of AQRM. We also want to appreciate Mr. Abednego Corle and all others who have been behind the scene in this presentation. Thank you very much. I'm glad that the AQRM is on board. God bless you. Bye.
Bye-bye. You can take those details quickly, write to us direct, whether it's questions or how to go about it. And also, if you want us to visit your institution after you have completed the form and after you have done your self-assessment, get the details from there. They are on display. Till we meet again.
And let me please also specially thank the Obreg Global team who have been connected to this program from the beginning. We appreciate you. Thank you for the Aquative program, and we see what we can do to use this Aquative program to advance the quality of higher education in Africa. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And finally, please, the link to the tool has been shared in the chat. So for those who who didn't get it at first, the link has been shared in the chat. Link to the tool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Secretary General. Nobody has thanked you because you have been thanking all of us. We really appreciate you for the initiatives within such a short while. You have done a lot for African higher education. We will continue to support you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Until we meet again, I hope everybody has now gotten the details to write to quickly for quickly responses and all the assistance that you may need. It's a bye-bye from us at the AAU.